Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we have the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2-bike platform rack. We'll take a look at how it fits our 2017 Chevrolet Traverse. So the Destination 2 is probably one of my more favorite bike racks when it comes to the compact, affordable, lightweight category. It's definitely entry level, meaning it doesn't have certain premium features that I like tilting away or a greater weight capacity. But depending on your bikes, it might actually still be a good fit for you. We're going to focus on our Chevrolet Traverse here to see if this pairs well with your vehicle, and then that will help you out with making the right buying decision too. So the first thing is that this is not tilt away. If you need to access your hatch, you are going to have to take the bike off. Some alternatives to that might still be affordable would be the Swagman Schnook. That one does have a tilt away lever and a similar style of a rack. Now, how is the bike mounted? Well, you have 3 touch points. 1 and 2 are going to be your wheel straps. The third is going to be this frame mount on the short mast. So this has pretty much all the movement, up, down, left, right, and it can even rotate. So whether you have a children's bike, a step-through frame, you don't need a frame adapter bar, that can work for you. That is all you need. Now we're going to take the bike off, and we're going to press this lever to disengage the strap so that I can lift it out. And I like to push it through the wheel and pivot it out of the way. So that's 1, and then we'll go to 2. And then we're going to go over to our frame mount. Now this can get a little tricky depending on your bikes. I sometimes have to reach around my bike and use my elbow to hold it in place as I press this lever and push out with my hands. So once that's free, you're then able to pivot this over towards your vehicle just enough to get over the mast, and then grab your bike and go. This does have only 35-pound per bike weight capacity, so you really aren't expected to be lifting heavy electric bikes onto the rack. Because of its unique wheelbase design though, I like it for even small children's bikes. This might be one of the only bike racks I've seen that can carry an even toddler-sized bike. So that's pretty impressive. If you do have small children's bikes, you may want to consider this rack. This is also available as a 4-bike option with very similar design. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this mast down. So see this knob here? That needs to loosen enough where we can take this anchor point off. Once that's loose, sometimes you may need to tighten that back down, but otherwise you can pivot this mast down against the rack. Alright, our anchor and our frame mount. There we go. So you have options here of using either the frame mount to secure it around the bike rack, or you can use a wheel strap that goes around the frame mount. Whichever you pick, it'll all work. I just recommend rotating between them so that every strap gets equal wear and tear. But this is what your bike rack looks like now. You can now open up the hatch. Look at all the clearance there. If you had the mast up, it probably would not have cleared, but now you can get your waters, get your backpacks, hang out here, change your shoes, whatever you need to do. It was a bummer that you did have to take the bikes off, so if that's a major issue for you, definitely check out the tilting alternatives. Now let's talk about measurements here. Since it is a compact portable rack, it shouldn't take up much space. But how much space exactly does it take up? I measure from the furthest point on the car, which is our bumper, to the furthest point on the rack, which is by our reflectors. That sits at 24 inches or 2 feet. Oh, another good measurement is ground clearance, because the Traverse sits pretty high up. So from the ground to the bottom of the rack, that's another 2 feet, 24 inches. To the center of the rack, that's 27 inches. For heavier bikes, I usually recommend getting a rack with a ramp, because this is a lot of height to get your bike up onto the hitch of your Traverse. But with a Destination only have that 35-pound weight capacity, you really shouldn't need that as much. I'm going to make this more compact and portable. we're gonna loosen this knob here at the side, let that hang as I lift the rack up, and then tighten it back down. So this is gonna be your portable position. Good for if you're driving around town, don't want to take your bikes out just yet, but you don't want to take the rack off. Also good for storing it inside your garage or shed. Measurements from that bumper to the end of the rack is now 12 inches or 1 foot. With this being on the Traverse, something I would like to say is that I would just drive around with it in the down position, because with it folded up, you will not be able to open up your hatch. See here how it would make contact with the bike rack, not ideal. But everything else is visible. Your rear window is visible, taillights visible, license plates visible, backup camera is visible. All that is great because then go into reverse, it's like the bike rack's not even there. With that, I would also say that this is a very lightweight rack. You are able to install it yourself. Fits into your hitch as long as you have a hitch, whether you have an 1.25 cord or a 2-inch hitch receiver. It does have an anti-rattle bolt. You may notice a little bit of up and down movement though because of that adapter. The 4-bike version will have less movement because it's a 2-inch shank. So for your smaller bikes, your larger bikes, your road bikes, your mountain bikes, this is going to be a great fit for you. If you do want that tilt-away function, I mentioned the Swagman Schnook as an alternative. There's also the XTC Tilt if you want to stay in your affordable sections. But this right here was a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2-bike platform rack on the 2017 Chevrolet Traverse.
Here we are on our test course. As we hit the alternating bumps, you can see what it would be like to hit a pothole on the road. Our solid speed bumps simulate pulling in and out of a driveway or hitting a speed bump in a parking lot. We use the slalom portion of our course to simulate the side-to-side movement, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvers.